Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to Virtus.Pro versus Viking.GG in the Epic League. This is the upper bracket as well, so both of these two teams have been performing really well, especially Virtus.Pro actually. They've just been crushing it. Every single team that they come up against, they just smash them to pieces. Viking, they've been doing pretty good themselves. Obviously, not quite as dominant in a lot of their games, quite most of them in 2-1s. But even still, they themselves have been playing very, very well. So this should be an exciting game to watch. But we'll see if VP is able to keep their real powerful, dominant show and rolling forward in this series and just take it again and put themselves into the grand finals and force Viking to try and work their way back up if they want to go for another contention of taking down VP. But we'll have to see how this game ends up going, of course. But Viking, they ban out the Magnus and the Omni Knight. Pardon me. Obviously, the Omni Knight, very high meta at the moment. People just love picking that up, pairing up with the Sven. Just a real disgusting combo. Doesn't really do that much explaining either. Viking are actually going to grab the IO as their first pickup. So we'll see what Viking are going to do to respond. There's still the Faceless Void in the pool, something that Epileptic Kid really enjoys playing. So I wouldn't be too surprised if we saw that come out right now. We're actually going to lead up with the Slardar instead. Also a very nice hero. DM does like to roll it in the mid lane. In the off lane, sorry. Yeah, he does do that pretty well. The Slardar, obviously with the Corrosive Haze, it just really increases the damage output you carry, especially once he gets that Aghanim online. Obviously it doesn't increase your damage output, but it makes the Slardar so damn tanky and annoying to deal with. Just puts down that big old puddle. And this is sort of like the current meta for in this patch so far. The patch has been going on for a long time. There is that Faceless Void pickup now for VP. Viking also grabbed the PA. So the PA, well, with the Faceless Void going up against the PA, it will force them to get that MKB, but a Faceless Void is one of those heroes which does not mind building MKB. It gives him attack speed, it gives him damage. They're the only two things he really cares about, apart from maybe a bit of survivability with a BKB, if he needs it. All depends on what the rest of the lineup on the side of Viking is actually going to be. We'll see what they grab. Viking probably going to try and aim to pick up some sort of long duration disable, something like a Beastmaster perhaps. Maybe even a Tidehunter to try and set up the ganks onto this Faceless Void, really disable him. Plus with the Tidehunter, obviously if you pop that Ravage, it'll give you protection on whoever's getting beaten up in the Chronosphere at that current time. So we'll see what it is going to be the Viking will eventually pick up. But obviously we've got a whole banner phase before that. VP, take away the Lesh. Make sure Boom is going to get that pick up this time. We saw in Vikings' previous series where they played Na'Vi, they picked the Shadow Fiends 2 games in a row, and it worked the first game really well. Didn't work out quite so much in the second. So we'll see if maybe that Shadow Fiend's still on their minds. It's a hero that Boom does like to play quite a lot, especially in his pubs. But it's a hero which you do not really see in pro games. It's relatively easy to try and halt the progress of a Shadow Fiend. All you got to do is just gank him a few times really and really delay his game out. But obviously the Shadow Fiend is a last pick hero because if the two supports on the other side don't really like rotating and ganking onto that mid lane, that's when you can really try and pick this hero up, and then he can start getting his full potential out as he basically just gets free farm. But we'll see what all the rest of the picks of both these teams are going to be first before Viking even consider that Shadow Fiend pickup, I imagine. So VP take away the Viper as well. Meanwhile, Viking, they take away the Phoenix, the Undying, and the Skywrath, so heavily focusing all of their bans now towards the supports on the side of VP. And they may as well, seems like the Faceless Void and the Slardar has already been grabbed. And there's not really too much point at the moment trying to ban out heroes against GPK for that mid lane. There's just too many to really try and pinpoint what sort of strategy you want to go up against. So you just want to try and take away the heroes that sort of screw them, like the support heroes that screw you over the most in the laning phase and towards the later portions. Obviously the egg is a key takeaway because there wouldn't be any sort of way easily for the current heroes inside of Viking to try and destroy that egg in time. The VP actually going to go for the Crystal Maiden, so that's going to be for Ilias' position 5. They ran this a few times. And this is actually a favoured hero of him, so he's able to perform that. Normally you see like a CM pickup once there's like a Beastmaster grab, so then you can easily kill those boars. So maybe this is like a preemptive Crystal Maiden pick. They're probably suspecting the Beastmaster grab now coming up from Viking for Toby to run in the off lane, so they're just sort of saying, sure, you can take this Beastmaster, but we've got the CM to always kill your boars. And it's a really obnoxious thing to try and deal with. But, you know, we'll see what they're going to grab instead. But this IO has every chance to go into Aramis's hands for the offlane. It has been something that Viking have done a few times, rather than like the traditional put it into the position 5 role. So maybe they might be trying to pick up something for Toby to try and go aggressive with this IO. I think one of their sort of favoured pairings is the Chaos Knight. The Chaos Knight could be quite nice. If he gets lucky, gets those long duration stuns, can do quite a bit of damage onto the Faceless Void before he's able to get the Time Walk off. And could also really benefit from the relocates around the map when paired up with the IO to set up for easy ganks. So we'll see what they are going to go for. They could also maybe go for the LC. I mean, the LC's a little bit of a riskier pickup, so maybe they might wait and see what the other heroes inside of VP are going to be. I mean, they've already banned out the Skywrath though. That's one of the really horrible things to go up against as an LC. Just get Mystic Flared right in the face every single time you go for a duel. The Viking are using a dumpler in their reserve time right now. Already down to 30 seconds. Now they'll finally take the pick, and it will be that Tidehunter. So we're most likely going to see this IO as the position 5. An IO Tidehunter isn't really like the best pairing in the world, because obviously the Tide doesn't really benefit too greatly from the attack speed. His right clicks do hurt a fair chunk. So maybe if this is going to be like a DPS build Tidehunter, then it possibly could work, but it's not really the most ideal pairing in the world. So yeah, you're most likely going to see this for Solari, so we'll see what they're going to grab for Aramis to pair up with this Tide in the off lane then. The first, we've got the 4 pick from VP, and it's going to be the Wind Ranger. So most likely going to be for Save as the position 4 hero. Also another hero that quite likes building MKB, so does quite nicely against the PA. But obviously as the position 4, it's not going to be like a super early MKB, but it will be out there eventually. Unless VP just get absolutely smashed, and there's just no way that Save can actually save the money to buy one. Funny stuff. So Viking, their 4th hero. What's it going to be? Most likely Aramis. Something that pairs up well with the Tide. Rubik? Something like that? No? Earth Spirit? Alright, so wait, I should have expected that really. Gonna go for the Earth Spirit, because then that way, once the Tide hits like level 3, got those 2 points into Kraken Shell, he'll feel pretty safe just to be left on his own. And then Aramis can start roaming around the map as the Earth Spirit, trying to set up ganks onto the mid. So we'll see what heroes they want to plan to grab for Boom in this mid lane to try and benefit from the ganks coming out from Earth Spirit. But the thing is, if Viking did want to go for that Shadow Fiend pickup, it's a little bit scarier, as the Wind Ranger is a hero that does like to rotate quite a lot and can set up for easy kills onto the Shadow Fiend. So we probably won't see that coming out of this game. I imagine we won't. It'd be way too risky. But at the moment, on the side of Viking, all of their damage is just coming out of the PA right now. So they need someone to put in their mid lane, which does do a high amount of DPS in these fights to really make sure that the members of EP actually die. But, I mean, the Shadow Fiend does do that. It does an insane amount of damage from afar. But I think just once the Slardar gets his Blink Dagger as well, it'll just be too easy to go on top of that Shadow Fiend. And Boom will just have a terrible game. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not going to be a Shadow Fiend in this game. Maybe they might go for like a Ember Spirit instead, perhaps. Can the sort of like poke in and out of the fights? What else could they possibly grab to try and insist damage output? They could grab the Outworld Devour actually for Boom. I mean, it does quite well against the Faceless Void and the Slardar, but I mean, the 2 supports, obviously Intelligent Space's ultimate won't do the best, but you're always going to have those Astral Imprisonments on whoever gets caught by the Chronosphere to go for some potential saves. Also, the Astral Imprisonment sets up for an easy rolling boulder from the Air Spirit to go for potential ganks as well. Yeah, it's a possible route that Viking could try and go down. Oh, actually, just gonna go for the Doom. I guess the Doom can do a bit of damage in these fights. Obviously, it's not like super guaranteed damage, and it's just another melee hero. So all of these, it's going to be pretty easy for Epileptic Kid to get some nice chronos off this game. 4 melee heroes on the side of Viking, and the IO obviously wants to just be paired up with people all the time as well. So he's probably going to get caught in the chronos if they are all clumped up. So there's going to be that slight little downside to the Vikings draft. But they all are relatively tanky. So it might work out alright. Yeah, it might not be too bad for them. And VP are actually going for the Death Prophet. So it feels like there's quite a lot of damage output coming out from the side of VP right now. Sarlard, Faceless Void, the Prophet, even the Wind Ranger. There's quite a chunk of damage. Even the Maiden can just pop the ultimate just outside the Faceless Void Chronosphere, do quite a bit of damage herself. Meanwhile, for Viking though, as I was saying, it's sort of just shad on the PA. Boom can, but obviously it's not like the most reliable damage source. Maybe we might see Toby go for some weird, funky damage build, but you sort of need to go for that Guardian Greaves to try and keep your team healed up. Try and sustain for the damage coming out from the rest of VP. I mean, look at these lineups though. I think I do favour VP this game. It just feels a little bit more well-rounded. They got a nice chunk of disables. A good couple of teamfight ultimates as well. You got a few tanky guys, a lot of DPS, a lot of utility, the Exorcism as well to push with. On Viking, you've got the Ravage to help fight with. That's sort of your only big teamfight ultimate. Well, actually, there is the Magnetize from the Earth Spirit as well. Might see a relatively early Blink Dagger coming out from Boom this game to try and go for some ganks onto Epileptic Kid, perhaps. Just blink on top of him, get the Doom on, and then just try and bring him down that way. But yeah, I think even still, I am favouring VP's draft this game. I think they'll take this one. It just seems really well, like, nice on paper. Even to their cores, well, I say the Wind Ranger's not going to be a core, but you've got 2 heroes which likes to build MKBs to try and shred this PA as well. Yeah, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling VP. But, you know, curse the casters. This could go completely wrong, and VP going to be losing. A lag pause straight away, as you tend to see. It just happens every single time. This is the downside of online tournaments, of course. Okay, we'll see if maybe Viking might potentially go for some sort of crazy first blood move. VP, they love to either, if they're Radiant, they stand here. If they're Dire, they stand here. They just sort of sit on top of this high ground and maybe wait, and they wait for the other teams to try and make any sort of moves against them. So we'll see if that's what they're going to do this game. Maybe Viking, they probably know that, might try and go for some sort of smoke play. They could possibly like smoke up, walk down, come through, head up, go through the middle, and try and get up in this way, because there's a very small chance that anyone on the side of VP would really be standing on this bit to break a smoke. So there is going to be that potential. But they, I say that, they could try and do that, and then this would probably be the one time that VP doesn't bother standing on these high grounds.
Easy.
Oh yeah, very silent. Put on some music while we wait. The goddamn pauses. Ah! So what's the mid matchup? DP versus the Doom. It should be relatively even. I think GPK will be having a slightly better time, obviously, with the Soul Siphon, just trying to zone out the Doom. But with the Devour regen, obviously it doesn't actually kick in really until level 3. But even still, yeah, I think yeah, GPK will have a slightly better time in his in the mid lane. Oh, I get it ready. Make it go. Hey, the game is on. Alright, here you still. Welcome. First game between VP versus Viking.GG. Who's going to be able to take this first game and start getting a real dominant lead in this series? As I've already said, I'm putting my money onto VP. But, you know, we'll have to see how it actually ends up turning out. You know, as I was saying, VP going up for a smoke play. Heading up through their triangle. No, see what their move is going to be. Meanwhile, the rest of Viking are moving 4 heroes down to the bot. So this smoke play is not going to find any kills down there. If they hurry, they might actually bump into Shad before he gets to the safety of his tier 1 tower, perhaps. He's hanging up on the side, so he's not actually going to spot them walking up to this high ground. I think they realise he's onto the left. Lead the charge. The blast comes out there from Ilias, trying to slow Shad down. But the rest of VP just could not get in close enough, and Shad's actually able just to walk it off. So unfortunately for VP there, they don't find anything out of that. And you can see Vikings got 2 very aggressive wards down in the Radiant jungle already. Obviously this one will just be mainly used to scout out courier movements, and then Aramis will be spending a lot of time trying to snipe them away. Making sure that Epileptic Kid can't just constantly get a flow of items out to him, try and delay his game out that way. Epileptic Kid maybe thinking about trying to go for that top boundary room. Actually going to change his mind, going to head down to the bottom one. Doesn't end up beating Toby to it though. So we'll just end up being a 2 for 2.
You lose space and life.
So Shad paired up with Soleri. I mean, it's not going to be the easiest time farming. Always pairing up against a melee hero going up against a Slardar is pretty brutal, especially when it's a Slardar paired up with the Wind Ranger. It's just gonna, you know, you get crushed, you get bashed, you get shackled to a tree, you're just stunned forever, taking so much damage. Especially with Save already going for a Blightstone at the very start of this game. Just going to slightly increase the damage output on the side of VP. Maybe potentially just make this lane as miserable as they possibly can for Shad. Don't want to just give him free farm. Then down bottom, Epileptic Kids. He should have a, you know, it's not quite as bad going up against a Tidehunter, especially seeing as how Aramis is actually just spending a lot of time dotted about in the trees. And Toby's just getting smacked up by Epileptic right now. It's taking so much right-click damage. I think Aramis was just waiting for the couriers. He saw one come in there for Ilias, but it ends up wasting a lot of time. In the mid, how's this matchup going so far? It's too early to tell, really. It's still very even. Maybe once the level 3 hits there for GPK, when he gets a couple of points into the Soul Siphon, he'll probably start harassing out Boom as much as he can. Down bottom, Toby's taking loads of hits, loads of bashes in a row. Epileptic Kid jumps forward, tries to get the finishing hit. It's just long range hits coming out from Ilias. And Epileptic Kid, they got exactly the same movement speed, but there was a slow from Ilias, one more. And he gives enough space for Epileptic Kid just to get that final little whack in the back of the Tide. And that's first blood for the Void. It's a lovely start for VP in their safe lane so far. I mean, sure, he's suffering on CS a little bit because of the amount of harassment, like time they've spent just whacking Toby rather than actually farming up creep waves. But even still, first blood's definitely worth it. Missing out on 4 creeps for sure. So already we can see that probably the 2 position ones between both teams, Epileptic Kid's already going to have a better start. If this Shadow's actually CSing quite well, the real scary part is when both these 2 heroes for VP ends up hitting their level 3 timing. And then we'll probably start to see the PA suffer a little bit. Boom, wandering into the jungle. What's the creep he's going to find? Doesn't want either of those. He's going to grab the ice troll. Even stacks both the camps. Ooh, lovely efficiency. Stacks that. Grabs that as well. Nice movements there by Boom. Also the ice armor, as I was saying, just going to make it a little bit more difficult for GPK to try and harass out the Doom now. Doom, boom, boom, doom. Boom, doom, doom. So awkward. Oh. Haven't had Kid's Courier. Got very close there to Aramis. Actually, doesn't even bother changing the micro. Just going to let it run all the way back. And maybe Aramis could have gone for like an aggressive roll there and potentially got the kill off onto Epileptic Kid's Courier, but he's probably expected it just to sort of sit back. He will spot Ilias's Courier coming in though. So this should just be a free... Whoa, he's actually changed his direction. Seeing that Toby was getting gone on. Want to maybe try and help the tide out. But that's going to be another Courier which gets by. So unfortunately, this ward, it's not really paying off yet. Aramis hasn't managed to snipe a single Courier. The runes spawn at 4 minutes. It's actually double damage down bottom. Aramis, he will actually secure that as GPK was heading in his general direction. These Soul Siphons just doing so much damage to Boom. I think Boom would have been really, really low there if he didn't have that ice armor on. Such an effective skill, actually just allowing you to stand your ground a bit better. Especially seeing as how Doom is already a tanky hero. It just makes him obnoxiously tanky. Rolled him from Aramis. Oh, he actually misses! Epileptic Kid wasn't even moving. Ooh, that's got to feel bad. So unfortunately, he doesn't actually get much use out of this double damage rune. Even still, 5-minute bounty spawning. Aramis wants to try and secure the bottom one, but Epileptic is even going to try and help out Ilias here. A nice kick there from Aramis. Forces Epileptic to get back, so he secures that bounty rune. We'll be able to get to the triangle one as well. You can still Toby there. As soon as Aramis leaves the lane, Toby's just getting punished so hard. Another slow from Ilias. All Epileptic needs was one more bash, and they potentially could have got that kill, but he wasn't quite lucky. Well, I mean, he'd already had like 2 bashes before that, so I say that. He's a very lucky man today. Even still though, Shad's actually having a pretty nice time up top. Second on that CS chart so far. So he's not being shut down anywhere near as hard as I thought he would. Maybe it's... well, safe station making rotations towards the mid lane. Even Exorcism now popped out by GPK plus the Soul Softener. Out comes the Shackles, latches him to the one of the creeps. And Boom does go down. Now GPK is pressuring forwards, trying to do as much damage as he can. Actually blocks the roll out there from Aramis. Doing quite a bit of damage. One more Soul Siphon. This probably will secure the kill. Double kill there for GPK. I ended up actually missing it, but down bottom as well. Epileptic Kid and Ilias got a kill onto Toby once again. Just VP off to a smashing start this game. 4-0. Secured the first blood. GPK already doing a ton of damage to this tier 1 tower at 6 minutes in. This can't be surviving so long. Even Aramis having to TP back towards the mid lane just to try and force them off it. They will do that at least. But now that DM's reached that level 5, 3 points into the bash, it's very scary for Shad to get anywhere near the creeps now. Slowly will come in though, just to try and heat him up a little bit. Sabi's here as well, so this could be the potential for maybe VP to try and make a move onto either Solari or Shad. Depends on who gets caught out. Maybe this pull will force him out of position. We'll see if Vi can take the bait. And they are heading over. This could be the potential for VP to make a play if they want to try and get the grab onto the IO perhaps. But DM's actually still just got... He's got the whole creep wave on him, so the move would actually be obvious. They can't make much happen with that.
Tell me, this did not
Epileptic is actually going for the hand of Midas. So he's going to... Rather than going for the sort of Battlefield play, just purely focus on farming speed. He goes for the Midas. Allows him to get a little bit of bonus attack speed. See if he gets lucky with those back. Oh, just didn't even hit it. Never mind. Meanwhile, there Ilias comes out for the wrap round. He slowing him up. Toby's taking a lot of punches. Out comes the bash there for Epileptic Kid. So Toby's crawling away, but there's the soul side from GPK as well. Toby's still alive, but one more freeze. And a blast there from the Crypt Swarm. And that's another kill. And another death for Toby. What's he on, 3 now? 3 deaths? Yeah, 3 deaths on this Tide Hunter already. He's not going to have the most effective game. And Sexism is back online, so GPK is probably going to look to try and take this tier 1 tower. Actually, the tower's on 135 HP. Is that... I know that's the deny threshold. Yeah, they are going to go for it. Oh, but it's not... It's taking a while. It's taking too long. GPK, he just gets the last hit. Oh no, Aramis. Oh no. Oh, that's got to feel bad. Even with the 2 illusions just trying to help it take it down, just Aramis hits, but hardly anything at all. His own tier 1 tower is just too tanky for him. So he can't quite find it. Oh, saving GPK, just moving into the dire jungle. I want to try and shut out the farm coming out from Shad. But they need to be a little bit careful. Boom and Solarius rotating around here themselves. You can see Boom actually just wants to focus up farming. Gets another stack up. Meanwhile, the Exorcism did actually get popped by GPK at this top. Want to try and just force down this tier 1 tower. Just getting a nice little gold lead and tower lead so far in this game. It's definitely something you like to see when people are playing the Death Prophet. You want to try and be using that ultimate every single time it's off cooldown to really get the effectiveness out of it. As you should with pretty much every long cooldown ability. But Toby, he's getting gone on again. He's miles behind the tier 1 tower. Very aggressive position. The ultimate from the CM and the Chronosphere. GPK just rolls in there with the final hit with the Crypt Swarm. Nabs that kill rather than just letting the Void getting it himself. So Toby's game gets even worse. He's barely ahead of save right now. Only 500 gold. He's just been punished that much. The 10-minute bounty spawn. Looks like VP will be able to secure both the bottom 2. And DM's just able to grab the top bounty. Meanwhile, Aramis did actually manage to snap one of them at least. So it's only 3 for 1 there for VP. But even still, this net worth gap is just growing more and more. Slowly but surely. Well, it was 3. Yeah, 3. It's bouncing between 3 and 2k. So it's about 3,000 gold in favour of VP right now. And the farm between the 2 position 1s, it's not huge, you know. It's only 700 gold. That isn't like an insane amount. But obviously, you know, 700 gold at this stage in the game, you know, obviously it has a bit more of effect because you just get your items online slightly earlier. With the Hand of Midas as well for Epileptic Kid already online, you can start to see his farming speed ramp up even better. Even finding AI and Talon. Just real perfect item for any position 1 carry. Meanwhile, Shad, he's still working towards that Battle Fury. And he's quite a ways away from it yet. To 1,000... He's about 2,400 gold from actually finishing up this item. And even Aramis is just... The position 4 is enough just to pressure him out. Sure, it doesn't do that much damage over to him, but... Oh, no, actually, Shad's going to try and turn around.
Tell me, this did not
No, he's just wasting Shad's time. That's his only priority at this point, really. Imagine save. He's going for the Blink Dagger, so he wants to just go for easy shackle setup. So I imagine he'll probably go for that MKB rush once he has that Blink Dagger online. Well, I say rush, but, you know, just the general Blink Dagger pickup. For GPK, Exorcism number 3, ready to roll. We'll see if he's going to pop it to try and force down this tier 2 tower. Yes, he's actually holding it for now. Doesn't want to just spend it right away. Thought maybe he might do. You know, they're picking out Aramis right now. DM, jump forwards, got that Blink Dagger finished up, and the silence follow-up. Aramis is locked down in places. TP rotation's coming in, but it's not fast enough. Aramis still dies. Boom does commit the Doom onto the Slardar. There's no escape for DM right now, so it looks like he will fall. So Aramis trades his life away for the more valuable kill of the Slardar, so I don't think he doesn't mind too much about that. Obviously, it was quite a few rotations from Viking, plus the Doom committal. So I suppose VP do have that slight bonus now, as they're not going to be threatened by that. And GPK is actually going to start running at Toby with the X's and pops to slow up Familius, trying to do as much damage as they can. He's just running around the trees, but loads of TP's already been used. And Toby just ends up dropping there. The ultimate committed there by Ilias brings him down. Just another death for Toby. I'm sure these don't really phase him anymore. He's just used to it. He's just used to dying. GPK is going to try and use the rest of his X's and pressure the tier 2 tower, but obviously there is a glyph available. We'll see if I can actually even bother using it for this. Probably not. It's not going to be that much damage, especially since how the Exism's already pretty much fit over. Now only 700 gold away for Shad for that Battle Fury. And then we start to see that distance between the two carries really start closing up, and it'll probably just start really outpacing Epileptic Kid. This is the benefit of going for a Battle Fury over a Hand of Midas. It does increase your GPM much better than the actual Hand of Midas does. But obviously the benefit of the Hand of Midas is it gives you that bonus experience as well. Because at the moment Shad is about a quarter of his way to his level 10. Meanwhile Epileptic Kid is a quarter of his way to his level 11. So all these small things, they do add up. We'll see if maybe they might try and use this little bit of a level disparity once Epileptic Kid gets his level 2 chrono online. And then they might try and make some moves off of that perhaps. We'll have to wait and see what they actually prioritise. He's got a Morbid Mask. I assume he's got the bit to finish up the Mask of Madness in this courier. But it doesn't matter about the rest of VP. They're going for a smoke play now. Well, they did. He took that regen rune underneath the Observer Ward. So Viking, they should realise that they're there if they were paying attention to the map. I don't think they were, because Solari would not be walking this direction if he did. So now it looks like Solarius is going to get killed pretty easily. Follow-up stuns, arrow, blast as well from GPK. Another kill for the Death Prophet. And just before the 15-minute bounties as well. So they've secured both the bottom two. But Aramis, though, reads the space where the entirety of VP is, and will manage to take the top two himself. So it's not going to be any sort of big lead built from VP yet again. Boom's nearly got his... Actually, he's got enough to finish up his BKB now. So this is going to be a nice power spike for the side of Viking if they want to try and make some sort of move. Doom available, BKB up. Toby just got his face boots, but even still he's got his Ravage ready and available to use. So they are going to go for a smoke play themselves. Not going to bother bring Shad into it. Maybe just want to bait out this PA perhaps? Not too sure, but even still, DM and GPK actually going to go into the Roche bit, committing the Exism as well. With the minus armor coming out from the Slardar, it should drop pretty quickly, especially once the Void ends up getting involved. And I think Viking, they might realise this is going on. Boom even found a double damage, but they're not going to be able to get in time whatsoever. Roshan will fall. And I don't think Viking realise. They do now, obviously. And they're like, oh, well, we messed up, boys. If they made the move and wrapped around the correct direction, they could have found a really nice fight. Oh, bless me. My apologies. Unfortunately for them, you know, it's one of those things where you're sort of deciding which direction to go. And most of the time, it is sort of like a coin toss. Especially when there's no one... there's no vision of any heroes on the map. So you're sort of like, yeah, it's 50-50 chance of which direction you need to go. What? I heard the Ravage used, but there was no one here. I mean, there was save off to the left, but he was miles away. Well, that was a bit odd. Maybe Toby's just super tilted right now. After his laning phase, even after that, 0 and 5 Tidehunter. Maybe he's just so tilted that he's just his R button is really twitchy right now. His fingers is ready to press it at a moment's notice. But you know, VP, they're able to take this tier 2 tower with very little resistance. They now do commit the glyph and do some TPs in here just from Aramis. And they will keep their tier 2 alive for now. Oh, Boomy started TPing in. He actually got cancelled out for the mid lane. The jump fall from saving DM can try and bring him down, but there's the heal and the relocate out by Soleri. So he will save Boom's life. You know, Epileptic Kid and GPK, they should be able to finish up this tier 2 tower. DM ready waiting to get the jump. Oh, there she brings Boom back. I don't think DM was ready for that. He actually gets a Ravage of his own, stuns onto 4 heroes, and he's able to sliver out of there. So he doesn't get punished too hard by that. But even still, nice Camille there by Viking. You know, not just signing the IO's life away like you tend to see a lot of teams do. Just like, yeah, you relocated me out, you saved me. It'll pay me your life. But they see the opportunity to maybe make a turnaround. They need to get the grab, but the lovely stun there from DM makes so much space. And it looks like VP want to try and make a move. They've got the Chronosphere available. They've got Exorcism as well. So it's ready. Wait, now they're going to pop the Exorcism. With this creep wave, there's no glyph, obviously, because Viking ended up using it at the top lane to try and defend the tower, even though it had like no HP left. So this will just be a free tier 2. They might even just keep this pressure going onto the high ground, to be honest. It's going to have half the duration of the Exorcism and the Chrono, but they're not going to bother. Even the BKB online for Epileptic Kid as well. It's funny how he's not actually bothered to finish up the Mask of Madness. He's just left it as the Morbid Mask. Quite an interesting choice to go for that. So a few members of VP rotating to the spot, see if they can grab someone, but Shad and Slayer already backed out. And they'll avoid the potential gank coming out from VP. And they're just going to start... They just do a U-turn, start heading straight back towards the Viking side of the map. Once again, not going to find anyone just here. Maybe they might try and make a rotation into the jungle. This ward, it does actually spot out where Shad is. So maybe DM's waiting for the potential jump onto the PA. With Desolator now online for Shad. Even spots out the movements from Soleri. So DM going for the sprint, going to jump straight forward. Yeah, Soleri managed to get into onto the ward, but it does cost him his life for that movement. So a little bit unfortunate there for him. And then once again, Aramis managing to secure the top 2 bounties for his team. But DM's on the hunt. He actually spots Aramis rolling over the cliff. And he's not going to carry on chasing forwards. He actually just lets him get out of there. Interesting. I thought maybe he might have just kept hunting forwards. Actually, he's going to try and go for the kill onto Toby. Slipping around. Oh, he doesn't actually guess the right direction. He actually starts heading up. Toby's is still sat in the bottom. And he's not going to end up running into him. Now Toby just goes with the very safe TP out. So very lucky there for Toby. That could have been his 6th death. He does avoid it. And now the rest of Viking grouped up as 4, going for a smoke play. Meanwhile, Shad, even though he has this Desolator ready to roll, he doesn't want to get involved with his team. If you get a Desolator, generally you want to try and use that to really great effect. But maybe he's actually just going to try and join up with the rest of his team now. He's heading in first. Pops the smoke of Ilias. They realise that he's off to the side. And he will escape out of there. Fan strike back onto the rest of his team. Even the rest of the Viking tried moving up to the high ground, but immediately those smokes popped. And they decided against it. There was the Aegis sound being reclaimed. And so VP have lost that small little bonus over Viking in the coming fights. But even still, they're just really far ahead in terms of gold. And, well, not super far ahead in terms of gold. It's only 5k. Shad's actually at the top of that net worth. And obviously, as I was saying earlier, the Battle Fury being able to increase the farming speed much more than a Hand of Midas does. And he's actually even done quite well to close the XP gap. They're very similar as well. Epileptic Kid is leading the charge into the charge triangle. The Ravage gets committed and the roll forward. Epileptic Kid gets delayed before he can make any sort of move happen. Now DM's going to get caught out. The roll forward connects. Shad just jumps on top of him, bursts down DM with a nice crit. So 2 lovely kills for Viking. They're on the hunt for more, but I don't think they're going to be able to find anything, even with this relocate into the backlines. But even still, Viking should be happy with that. Really nice grab for them there. 2 very, very high priority kills. I just like it's epileptic. It just died so fast. I just wasn't quite ready for it. It just got deleted in a second. It was insane. I mean, I suppose if you can't get his BKB off, he's not that squishy. 1700 HP, 11 armor. But I suppose you got the Desolate taking off 6 of that armor. Yeah, Anchor Smash does quite a bit as well. I suppose it's a fair amount. Did Shad actually crit? I don't think I saw him crit. Save. Heading in first. Does manage to spoil Aramis. Doesn't quite get the grab. With the Blink Dagger, he just manages to get the vision there to get the shackles onto him. Even Epileptic Kid jumps forwards. Aramis tried to go for the roll out, but it was blocked by Save. And the rapid fire finishes him off. A little bit of extra gold there for the Wind Ranger working towards that MKB. Got the Javelin, but even still, he's about 2,700 gold away from actually finishing this item. So he's not going to have it super soon. You know, Epileptic Kids, he's still got these queued up, but he's got something else coming out to him on the courier. It looks like the rest of VP going to try to go on the hunt for something else. Shad, he gets spotted. C8, ooh, Save just barely too slow with the shackle there. So Shad manages to escape with his life. Even Slay manages to get a safe TP out. But even still, there was a lovely grab there by DM, killing the courier of Shad. So it's going to be a couple of minutes before the PA is actually able to get that BKB online to assist him in the coming fights. This could be the potential time for VP to try and make a move. This is like it basically is a couple of thousand dead net worth on the PA now because of this. VP groups up as 4, going for a smoke play, not going to bother trying to grab GPK with it. And they're charging forwards, not going to run into anyone this direction. Everyone else on the side of Viking have all sort of backed off into their own base. It's a nice decision there by them to avoid the gank coming out. But even still, very, very fast respawn time on this Roche. Up in 5 seconds. We'll see if anyone on the side of VP actually scouts it out. They're all just next to it. If they realise this is here, this will be a super quick Roche kill. But no one's checking it. Why is no one checking it? It gets pinged out now. Like, someone check Roche. Check Roche. It will be the one to do that. And all 5 heroes of VP all gathered around this area, so they are going to make this move. Meanwhile, the rest of Viking, though, 3 of them smoked up. So maybe they might realise this move's coming out. Aramis is heading in this direction, so we might be able to scout out. But even still, just look how fast this Roche dies. He's getting deleted. This is too much. Like, minus armor on the side of VP. This Roche just melts. And here's the second one going for VP yet again. Even a BKB up there for DM as well. So this is the big power spike for VP to try and make a move happen. And they're just going to try and roll with this wave, push the mid-tier 3 perhaps. I mean, there's quite a few heroes on the side of Viking down the bot lane, so it would be quite a nice open if they go for it. Force quite a lot of the TPs back. I just feel like VP want to just go high ground straight away. Maybe they just want to try and find a pick off first. Make sure they've got the hero advantage before they go for any sort of real risky plays. Despite the fact that they've got the Aegis and Cheese, obviously. So Epileptic Kid isn't actually even bothering with the MKB now. He swapped out and going for an AC. I thought that's something that probably the Slardar would have built. He's got the AC queued up as well. Wait, did I just have the no? Check. Never mind, boys. I just had the I had the wrong hero clicked. I thought I'd press 1 for Epileptic Kid, but my keyboard, it doesn't allow me just to press 1 and go to whoever is at the position 1, right? It works for everybody else, every other position in the game, but number 1, you can hear me spamming that button. Doesn't do anything. I don't know why. But it's not like it's broken. Look, I can type 1. It's a mystery. I've gone through all the options. This doesn't make sense. Does not make sense. So now it looks like VP, they're going to be able to get the grab onto Aramis. Imagine Save's going to lead the charge. With these shackles there, even DM comes in for the stuns. Aramis gets locked down the entire time. No survival. No chance. there is now that hero advantage for VP. It is just the Earth Spirit though, so I'm sure they want a much higher priority kill than that to really try and go high ground. Especially seems like the Earth Spirit has buyback available. But DM's just leading the charge. Doesn't quite run into Viking, any members of them. Even Boom goes for the TP out in the trees. So both teams are just playing very cautiously right now. Viking are just making sure that they're always on the opposite side of the map to VP. They just don't really want to take this fight whilst the Aegis is in the hands of Epileptic right now. I mean, it probably will mean that their tier 2 at the bot is just going to go down for free. But even still, Viking have secured their outpost. It is still a minute and a half before the actual 30-minute mark to get that XP boost. We'll see if VP are going to maybe try and apply a bit of pressure into the dire jungle, or if they're just going to keep pressing forwards and start pressuring the tier 3. They still have Exorcism available if they want to use it. The repair kit even gets used, and they will delay the push for now. Tier 1 does end up dropping, but DM's on the hunt. It's just Shad left all alone. Slayer is off to the side. He's starting to prep that relocate, and he will get Shad out of there. Obviously, it will cost the life of the poor little IO. Where are you pinging it, guys? You know where it is. And they're just like, yeah, save, you can get the kill solo. I'm sure he did. Epileptic Kid just came in there to make sure he got it though. And that is even the outpost going before the 30-minute mark. So, VP, Viking, they're once again not going to get that little bit of bonus XP. So we will just see that sort of gap grow even further between these two teams. Actually, it's hardly anything at all. Viking have been doing a good job of keeping this super even. Only about 2,000 XP is hardly anything at all. As well as only a 3k gold lead. I mean, when you look at the score and you see 13-3, you just expect that one team is much further behind. But all of those kills were at very early parts of the game. No one's died really for quite a while, apart from Aramis and Soleri. The two supports on the side of Viking have died a fair amount. But even Toby survived for a long time now. Look, he's actually just going for the Aeon disc next. Realising just how much he's getting focused down. He's got his Blink Dagger, he's got his Solar Crest. Those are the two key items, not bothering to go for any sort of like Guardian Greaves this game. They're gone for a smoke play and heading down towards the bot. So they want to try and get a grab on the side of VP. And even the Aegis reclaimed once again for Epileptic Kids. This is going to be a perfect time for Viking to try and find an engagement. I think they just got the vision there on to save, so realising where he is. Even GPK reveals himself with the Crypt Swarm. So Viking, they're still just progressing very slowly through the Radiant Jungle now. Shad stopped to farm some creeps, so if they get the grab, they're going to not have all of their damage available. Just both teams playing very, very cautiously. MKB super close for save now. Only 400 gold. And then Shad's going to have a real struggle to actually survive. Like MKB on save, MKB on Epileptic Kid. If he ever gets caught in that chrono, I think he's just dead. Unless maybe Ilias comes in with a absolutely amazing relocate save and just gets Shad out of there. It could be potentially what saves him. Yeah, I'm just pushing the waves into the tower. Top wave pushing in, mid wave pushing in. But rather than actually pressuring into that, VP go TP all back to this tier 2 tower. But everyone else on the side of Vikings already left. I thought they should have just really kept this open and tried to maybe pressure the high ground and then force Viking to come back rather than the other way around. But Vikings not actually fully retreated either. Just 4 heroes still hanging around the bot. Maybe waiting to see if anyone on the side of EP comes down here to farm up this wave and try and get a sneaky grab themselves. But I'm not going to get that lucky. Everyone on the side of VP is just completely on the opposite side of the map. All in their own triangle. Looks like they might potentially go for a smoke play themselves. They don't actually have any smokes available though, do they? No, no one has a smoke. Is one coming out the courier? No, it's not even coming out the courier. The tier 2 actually ends up just dropping to the creeps, just push it in naturally. Which no one bothers to deny it for some reason, even though it was on 1 HP. Seems strange to me. But still, just everyone on Viking just hiding in the trees. Just waiting so patiently. Even VP all just sort of sat there in triangle. So why is no one moving? Come on, boys, move! Just realised the camera was on the wrong option this entire time. Not that it matters too much, but small efficiency plays gone wrong. So come on, VP, go push that tier 3 top. Everyone on the side of Vikings still down here. Now they're going to start TPing back to base. And VP spotted they're there. But none of these big ultimates have been used for such a long time. I think Doom has literally been used once this game. It's the only time that I can recall it was up top when DM dive past the tier 2 tower. I think that's the only Doom I can actually remember. But we'll see if he's able to use it this time. There's another smoke play coming up for Viking. Will it be successful, or will it just end in both teams completely missing each other and nothing happens? It's still very fast respawn, roast respawn, and look at it melt. Way too much minus armor. There's no way the Viking will be able to get her in time. The roast will fall once again. Refresh shard on the floor. Epileptic Kid just make sure he grabs all that still cheese, but he will nab it now. Erebus tried to go for the rollout. Epileptic Kid perfectly blocked it. He gets brought down, and our Viking just need to bail once again. But what's the exorcism pop by GPK? So VP want to try and use this as much as they possibly can. Going to try and pressure the high ground. Even a refresher shard passed out there by Epileptic Kid onto GPK. Just to make sure he can keep these ghosts rolling. Looks like Solari and Shad going to try and pressure the tier 3 down bot themselves. But I don't think you're going to win this race. Especially seeing as I imagine GPK is going to use that refresher shard to go for another exorcism. No? They're actually going to TP back, trying to get a grab onto Shad. DM's already waiting onto the sidelines. Oh, you go for the first hit of the bash, but actually ends up missing. Solari now going for that relocate to try and get Shad out of there. With the heals, it is enough time. So he does escape. He actually takes Shad to the mid lane. But Epileptic Kid, he just catches Shad either way with the Chronos Feast. Doing a lot of damage. A couple of misses might be enough for us to save him. And Shad, he's happy to survive with the Missile Blade. Tries to turn around, but the stun just wears off. Epileptic Kid able to get all his HP back with the time leap. Ilias just makes enough space with the ultimate drop to push everyone on the side of Viking back. But once again, no one dies. Wait, what? Solari? What? Wait. Shad came back bottom? Oh, that might have been a misplay there by Solari. I don't think Shad wanted to come back there. I think he wanted to stay in the mid. So maybe a little bit of a misplay there by Viking. So VP will probably try and abuse this. Pressure onto tier 3. May force the buyback on Shad. It will hurt if he's forced to, though. But I mean, if he doesn't, VP is going to take this mid-racks and they'll probably work on their way towards like the top as well. It's still going to be half the duration of Exorcism. There's no reason not to. Especially with this Aegis still online for Epileptic Kid. Be sure they don't have the Chronosphere to work with, but it's not like a necessity. Toby jumps forward with the Axe Smash, trying to make a little bit of space. Even DM gets stun. Out comes the Ravage. Will stun Epileptic Kid, bring down his first life. And now DM just gets brought down. One crit from Shad is enough to finish off the Slardar. Epileptic Kid respawns, but immediately gets caught by that Missile Blade. No way for him to get out. Aramis in with the roll forward, manages to get the grab onto Ilias as well, so they will find the +1. Just GPK trying to run out. Actually just going to commit the BKB TP. Gets out of there. Save just manages to run away. So nice plays by Viking. Sure, it costs the buyback on Shad, but you get 3 nice kills. You keep your top lane of barracks alive. Even the 35-minute bounties, they're going to be able to take all 4. Really nice step in. Aramis is not done yet. Charging forwards. Actually going to get the grab there onto GPK. Silence him up. But the Yules there from GPK trying to make as much space. The relocate coming out from Solari and Shad. Going to try and bring down GPK, but there was the Aeon Disc making loads of space. Even the rapid fire from Sabanese gets crit, the dagger, and the jump forward from Shad with the Abyssal Blade locking down GPK. There's no escape from the Death Prophet, and she drops. Even forces both the buybacks on the 2 VP supports, and they're not going to find anything for it. This is a complete disaster for VP now. I mean, if they got out from that previous top engagement without losing too much, then it was sort of okay, but those 2 extra grabs there from VP and the 2 buybacks just cut this this gold lead down massively. That's a real sharp spike downwards. It was sat at about 13,000 gold in favor of VP, and now it's down to sub 3k. Just lovely, lovely plays by Viking. Capitalised on the mistakes of VP perfectly. Oh, what's the XP chart? I imagine that's pretty much exactly the same. Still about 5,000 XP lead for VP. So their lead's not been completely lost. But even still, that's got to shake your nerves a little bit. Just any sort of slip-ups Viking can easily capitalise on. Especially this Abyssal Blade pickup by Shad as well. Just locks out an Epileptic Kid. And if Shad gets lucky with a couple of crits, there's no chance that the Faceless Void is going to be able to survive that. And there's not really any sort of... There's no save mechanic on the side of VP, right? There's no... Yeah, there's no sort of like... a jaunt ability to take him out of the map. Or, you know, like a relocate, any sort of heal bombs. There's absolutely nothing. So if Epileptic gets caught in the front lines, the best he can hope for is for DM to jump in there and try and get a stun save. But even still, there's BKBs online for a lot of members of Vikings, so it's not going to do a huge amount. Boom. Basically, he's got enough money for his Octarine core, but he's obviously saving for that buyback. Doesn't want to end up spending out and screwing over the rest of his team. And Shad, I think I saw. Yeah, he's building a nullifier. Only 400 gold away. Still, maybe this super cautious plays by VP it's not really benefited them too greatly. I feel like they sort of needed to apply the pressure when they had it, when they had their big advantage. But maybe they just kept waiting too long without using their sort of big cooldowns. And well, I'm not saying they've lost, but I feel like they've just made this game harder for themselves. They really do. He's trying to get the Satanic online as his next item. Once again, Aramis has been so annoying. Manages to take one of the bounties away at the top, and the rest of his team should secure the bottom 2. So once again, a large chunk of that gold going into the pockets of Viking. I feel like maybe if this Hand of Midas was a Battle Fury, I think it might be going a little bit better for the Void right now. This farm would have to go much better. But that's actually a Smoke Blade coming out from Viking. They're going to try and run into the members of VP. They spot Epileptic Kid. The jump forward and the Doom. Oh, it doesn't come out online. He's able to get the jump off. But even still, the Ravage doesn't come in. Lopping down Epileptic Kid. Shad's charging enough damage, but he's not critted. The Chronosphere comes out. It locks down so many members. He brings down Toby. He's trying to focus on the Shad, but he just can't quite find it. He does eventually drop the Rapid Fire, come out for a save. Everyone on the side of Vikings is getting deleted. There was a buyback from Toby as well, but he didn't get there in time. Not that he could have really done much anyway. Seems like he doesn't even have a Ravage available. And that's going to be an opportunity for VP to start pressuring the base once again. Buyback Force Alpha Boom and Soleri. But obviously there's no buyback for Shad, not for 100 seconds. He's already used it. And VP, they're just going to go for the game. They're going to push onto these tier 4s. The X system is over though. Jump forward Epileptic can try and slow him down. The shackles doesn't lock effectively onto Boom. So he's still able to walk away. I feel like maybe VP just need to go for the barracks rather than go for the throne. This might be a little bit awkward. They all get stunned up in place. DM getting quite low. Magnetized doing quite a bit of damage there coming out from Aramis. This might just be enough to force VP back. GPK getting caught in the back though. Nice little Havoc Hammer there from Boom. Pushing back a little bit. Even still the cheese passed over. Heals GPK out. He's still just getting slowed up quite a lot. Plus the Shiva's Guard. Actually going to force his BKB to walk out of there. And VP, even though there's no Shad to help defend, it feels like they're just being repelled anyway. They will now just go back to those tier 3s. I think they realised that there's no way that they could take these tier 4s. It was a little bit of an optimistic move to go for. So we'll see if they're even able to take down this. Or if maybe Boom's still able to try and make a little bit of space. And the media barracks full. Range barracks getting worked on. VP, I mean, if they could try and just keep pushing forwards and move on to the bot barracks, maybe? No, they're not going to go for it. They're all sort of... They'll just take what they've got on, and they'll get out of there before they potentially throw everything away. They're waiting for the next Roche, which once again, I mean, it's not super fast spawn, but it's not the longest in the world. Another 48 seconds. Can't quite capitalise on it just yet. They're going to have to wait. Oh, actually, a double damage spawns bomb. Epileptic Kid doesn't grab it, though. Maybe he just wants to save it for when the Roche actually spawns. Does just wait as long as he possibly can. He's going to head over to this Roche and just pray that it respawns soon. Looks like Viking. They scanned it connect, so maybe they were thinking that VP was doing Roche, but it's not actually up. DM's now just waiting in the pit. It's up in 8 seconds. It's double damage. It's got about 15 seconds left of it. They're going for a smoke up now. The Roche, it's now spawned. VP, they realise this. They're going to change their direction and go straight into this pit. But they need to be careful. Everyone on the side of Viking is up and just waiting up on these sidelines. Jesus Christ, look how quickly this Roche dies. It will get dropped. Still the refresher shard and cheese on the floor. GPK will take that up. Meanwhile, the jump forwards from the DM gets Yule, so he couldn't find a grab. But even still, this net worth lead that VP did have was just regrown. And even bigger than last time. It's like a goddamn Hydra. Even now a Divine Rapier queued up for Epileptic Kid. He will have it pretty soon if he wants to just buy out or go all in and not save for buyback. It would be very risky though to do that sort of play. But even still, they've got all their ultimates available. They've got Aegis, they've got Cheese. Even it was the Ag's Blessing. They actually put it into the hands of Epileptic Kid in the end. So that's just Time Walk bashes, right? I think that's what it is. Yeah, applies a time lock proc to all units in the landing destination. Which is quite nice, I suppose, for initiation. Especially seems how it's a BKB piercing initiation as well. So see if VP's going to try and go onto this 2-3. They're also gathered around this area, just waiting for their creep wave to get close enough. Aramis did try to go for a very aggressive ward, but unfortunately for him, Save got that gem. Just easy D-ward. So now this is going to be the real scary time for Viking. They need to hold this set of barracks, otherwise they're just going to get megaed. The X's have already committed by GPK. The jump forward by Epileptic Kid. He's going to get the grab onto Boom. There's no save coming out for the rest of Vikings. That's the Boom gone for 100 seconds. Even Aramis tries to jump on in there, but he gets deleted super quick. Will buy back though. But even still, this will be the tier 3 drop in. Media barracks now getting targeted. I think this is double Xism. I'm not too sure. But even still, Mega's now online for VP. Now it's going to start whacking onto these the tier 4s in the mid. This double Exorcism is so scary to try and for Viking to try and make a move on. Here comes the jump forward from Toby. He goes with the Ravage, connects onto a few of them, and now Shad's trying to do as much damage as he can, but he's getting bashed in place. He's getting deleted too fast. There's not enough heals coming out from the IO. He will buy back to get back in here, but it's not going to be enough. The rest of his team is all just falling. It's Shad all alone, and they just call it. They call it. They realise there's no chance that the PS can be able to do it. Even just gets killed in the pit. Ultra kill for Epileptic Kid to finish up the game. But even still, well played there by Viking. They were in the dominant position for pretty much all of that game. There was that one moment in the top, obviously, where they lost quite a few heroes, and Viking they could have had a really nice potential comeback, but unfortunately they just let that little lead that they got slip, and Viking just VP just wormed their way back towards the top position again, and then just close out the game. They're like, right, we're not going to make the same mistake. We're not just going to carry on dawdling around, wait for Viking to get scary again. Let's just go end. With the double Exorcism at the end there from GPK, easily brings down all the buildings. Just wasn't really anything that the Viking could do to stop it from happening. But even still, well played there by VP, taking game 1 of this best of 3 series in the upper brackets of the Epic League. So we'll see if Vikings can be able to bounce back and push this onto a game 3 potentially, or if VP is going to carry on being as dominant as they have been in all their other series so far this tournament, and just go for another 2-0 and just knock Viking back down to the lower brackets. But we'll have to see how it pans out. Hopefully you guys stick around for game 2. So I'll see you then. Thanks for watching that video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it and the content I was able to provide. I am just starting out, so if you did like it and you want to support me in the future, then please think about following and subscribing to me on Twitch, Twitter and YouTube. I post on Twitter what events I plan on covering in the future and when I'm actually able to do some casts. I don't have the most free time in the world, unfortunately, so I can't provide constant content, but I can guarantee you every single time that I do cast, I'm giving it my all because I have a lot of passion for it, and hopefully that does come off. So once again, hopefully you guys enjoyed it and you stick around for the next video. So hopefully I see you guys there. Cheers.